And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is Ron Foster and I touch base with you every day, just touching base about what's going on in the world. How are you all doing? Forgive me if I'm a little out of it today. I had to take my mother to the emergency room last night. So she is doing better, but she's still there. And so I was at the hospital, but at least I got a chance to leave. And then when I came home, I got home about midnight. I just sat on the couch, did my Wordle, and I was out. I fell asleep. I could not wake up. I did not wake up until this morning around 6:30. So, which is very rare because usually I do not sleep through the night, but I was exhausted. I was mentally exhausted. So yesterday I called her after I got off with you guys and a little bit after. And I always go there every week to clean up and to take garbage out and to order food and yada, yada, yada. And so I ended up calling her and she just did not sound right. She wasn't talking like regular talking. It reminded me when she had a stroke years ago. And so, decades ago now. And I said, oh, something's not right. So I got over there and she was so weak that she did not, she couldn't put the phone because when I was talking to her, I was like, Ma, you have the phone still on. And I said, can you put the phone on the hook? And she just simply dropped the phone on the floor and she did not put the phone on the hook. She was too weak to get out of her bed to do that. So long story short, she did not eat all week. She was not eating, even though she kept telling me she was eating. She was not eating the same foods that I put on the counter, put in the refrigerator on last week when I was there. I try, like I say, every week. And I got the bananas because she loves bananas. She really loves bananas. So I buy her two bundles of bananas that I put on the microwave and kind of like sits there for her. And she had not touched one of them. And the house just was a mess and everything. So I knew something was terribly wrong. So I called the ambulance and hats off to the beautiful EMT folks. They are so helpful and so kind and generous. And the gentleman, he was telling one of the EMTs, he said, my grandfather had dementia, and he says it's really tough. And he says my grandfather having dementia has given me grace to work with so many people that have it, because there's so many people, they go to a lot of these cases. They go to a lot of homes where elderly people have dementia, and it gives him an extra element of grace. And I said, yeah, that's how it usually happens. Some of the things that happen to us in life happen, and it gives us grace to be able to help others. Anyway, was at the hospital, and so they had to run tests and x-rays, and because she was telling me her stomach was hurting her, her back was hurting her. So they ran tests last night, and they didn't see anything troubling, but they wanted to do another set of tests this morning. So that's where she is right now. And I had the AMS guy, sorry, MS. He put in the request for her to have full-time, somebody to be over to watch a care. So it's usually easier. Like I have my phone, I have all the forms and all the forms I've been working on. But they say the process is faster and considered more urgent when the hospital does it, because then they actually have the person on hand. The person comes there, evaluates, yeah, and then they're able to rush the process. So hopefully this will work out in her favor, that we'll get a home attendant for her, or she will be in a home, however this works out. But it was an interesting night. And so I am mentally exhausted, but I was like, wanted to make sure I join with you guys. That's why we do Touch Base. That was the whole purpose of me ever creating Touch Base Daily, is to touch base about things like this that are going on, or things that are happening in our lives. And so definitely keep my mother in your prayers, keep me in your prayers. It's like I said, it was a long night, but the doctor was excellent. The nurses were wonderful. They were very attentive. There were a lot of folks in that place last night. And I told them, I said, normally I would stay, because last time when she had to go to the hospital, I stayed over with her. And but it doesn't profit you to stay, because there's nothing you can do in the wee hours of in the night. So it's better to just leave. And I was mentioning to them that I have my surgery coming up on Monday. And they were like, I said, so I shouldn't probably be in here with all of the germs. So because I have a big surgery coming up. And the doctor and the other nurse, she said, yeah, you're right on that one. So I came home, and so they're gonna keep me abreast what's going on, because she literally did not eat all week. She did not eat at all, that I can tell. I mean, she did have something by her bed that she looked like she maybe snacked on, but she was totally dehydrated, and totally she had lost muscle mass and everything. So anyway, that's where I am, and trying to figure out what's the next steps with her, and what we do. So social services will be helping me and guiding me along the way. So I'll be back there today, and we'll see what happens later. When you go back, wear your mask. Yeah, I had my mask on yesterday while I was there. I was not taking any chances. I got my vitamins this morning. I put them, plop them in. And I will continue to do that every day this week. I start my antibiotic regimen starts tomorrow for surgery. So hopefully I'll knock out all the germs that I accumulated from yesterday's day in the emergency room. So yeah, so everything's gonna work out. I know everything's gonna work out. And so I am very, very, very encouraged by how the doctors were so nice. And like I said, the nurses were so attentive. And even in the midst of the chaos that was in the emergency room, there had to be 20 people in the emergency room. And so I talked to the head doctor, the head administrator. And I said to him, I said, it's a busy night. It's a busy evening here today. And he said, yes, it's usually busy on Mondays. He says, people don't want to go to the hospital on weekends. I said, really? He said, yeah, he said, if people are sick, they will wait till Monday. I said, wow, I never thought about that. I said, I think that's like when I go to Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is usually busy on Mondays, which you would think Trader Joe's would not be busy on Mondays. But Trader Joe's is busy on Mondays, and then it's also busy on Tuesday. And then Wednesday it's a ghost house. And you can shop with no fanfare, with no one interrupting you. But so we were laughing about that. And but he said well, I see it here what you guys are saying. First, let me just go through here what you guys are saying. First of all, I didn't even say good morning to everyone. Wait, hold on. Let me just get back to good morning. Let me get back. First person in the building is Jazzy. She says good morning. Beautiful people. Hit the likes. Just right. Hit the likes. If you enjoy these moments together, hit the likes. And I see what's going on over in Instagram world. Yes, if you're on Instagram, come on over to YouTube channel, the YouTube channel, and click on Touch Base Daily. Okay, so do that. So if I get a phone call in the middle of this, you know why I may have to step away if I get a phone call. Okay, Lisa says she's number 2. Oh, Lisa's number. I'm sorry, Chris is number 2, and she says good morning. And then we have the wonderful Lisa Seeley. She says good morning also. And then I see all your hands, and I see Kimmy Kim is in the building. She says hello. And Amparo's in the building, sending hugs. I see all the prayers. Donette says, my mom had dementia. It is a horrible disease. It is horrible. And it never gets better. Bryson Lee says, what's up, Ron? What's up, RLP? Oh, let me get that up there. Sorry. What's up, Ron? What's up, RLP fam? What's up, CQ fam? And we taking more Kendrick Lamar. Yes, we are talking more Kendrick Lamar today. There was so much that was talked. But we'll talk about it. Lisa says, yeah, when a doctor writes a script, it's faster. Yeah, that's what they said. They say it's faster. So I said, you guys, I said, it's nothing I can do at this point. I am, like I said, I would go in and out, go every week, take care of things, clean things, mop the floors, change stuff. I was on my way to get her some new bedding. I bought some new sheets. I bought some new stuff. So, yeah. So I'm still going to get that. And if she stays in the hospital longer, I will probably go by the house today, maybe tomorrow, and start tidying up and cleaning up. And then I'm going to get a cleaner come in, a cleaning person will come in with their whole group of people. And then they will give the house a very thorough cleaning. So that way, if she has a house attendant, that everything will be clean and ready for her or him. It's usually a her. I don't really see that many men home attendants. I don't think they match men with women. I don't think so. I don't know what goes on in social services. Lisa says, also, so sorry, Ron. I know you know, dear. I know you know. Elise says, I'm praying for you and your mom, Ron. Thank you, Elise. Lisa said, when you go back, wear your mask. Yes, indeed. Dr. Tachi's in the building. What's going on, Dr. Tachi? I see you in the building. Danette says, you are in my prayers, both you and your mom. And Dr. Tachi, my mom, I had to take her to the emergency room last night. I should say yesterday because it was afternoon. Lisa says, drink elderberry if you can. Sometimes they want you to quit taking any supplement a few days before surgery. Yes, it was interesting to me. Like I had this one supplement that I was taking. It's supposed to be good for your it's an herbal supplement that deals with, reduces inflammation. Man, my doctor looked at my new gastrologist doctor. She goes, put that thing away. Throw that thing in the garbage. I was like, you didn't even ask if it's working? She said, it's not good for your liver. It's not good for your liver. And also, speaking of my gastrologist, she did send me my list of, because remember when I got my colonoscopy and when they found the tumor, they also had a little marker on my liver that they were concerned about. They thought it was a cyst. And then the MRI looked like it was still a marker there. There was something that was an anomaly. And then they did the sonogram. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday I got the sonogram done. And on Thursday, they rolled that little ball all over your stomach. They put all that liquid on it, that gel, and they roll it all over your stomach and sideways and right way and left way, and they found nothing, I was very happy and pleased. I just sent the results today. Everything's normal. It was just fatty tissue. So you may want to lose some weight. They said just a little weight loss it'll be gone. So that was one less thing to worry about health wise, because I was trying to figure out what they were looking for and seeing what that anomaly was. And even though my surgeon said that he didn't see anything, he said it looks like it's like 0.00 something inches, or they call it, well, in their cases they say centimeters or meters, millimeters or whatever. So yeah, so that's it. That's where I am. So I'm getting ready for surgery. My regimen starts tomorrow, and I was like, it would be this week. I said, because I will not be able to help my mother for the next 2 weeks, because I will be on lockdown here at the house. So I won't be able to do it. I won't be visiting her. So I will be working some things out, but we will make it happen. Okay, I see in here. All right. Because the doctors don't really work on the weekends. Ah, okay. Did not know that. And Elise says, good morning, Lisa. I was going to tell him about the elderberry too. Well, I will make my rounds to Trader Joe's at some point today, tomorrow. But I know I take my antibiotics, and I hate antibiotics without taking my probiotics, because the antibiotics kill the good germs as well as the bad germs. I should say the good bacteria versus the bad bacteria. It kills all of the bacteria that is in your body. So anyway, such is life. Last time I was at ER, and they said Mondays and Fridays are crazy. See, I knew Fridays were crazy, but I never knew Mondays were. Lisa says, yes, I just got a new batch. Good morning. Okay, girl. Hey, wow, long time no see. The Girls Club is in the building. Good morning, everyone, she says. So good to see you, Girls Club. Bryce says, what's up, Kim? I see that. Good morning, everyone. I see that mornings. Elisa saying good morning to everyone. And also we hey, Ole is in the building. Ole, East African brother from Kenya. Is it Kenya? I almost to Tanzania. I think you do your safari in Tanzania, but you live in Kenya. I love our international audience. We have folks from India. We have folks from Africa. He says, this is a great saying there. Jumbo from Serengeti Plains, Tanzania. So it's Tanzania. Thank you, brother. East Africa. We always clean before the cleaners. Yes, right. We clean before the cleaners, because there are things you just want to make sure are in place, and then they can clean the way you want them to clean. If they just come in and just do it, then they don't have any guidelines. Kimmy Kim says, hopefully a caretaker will ease your mind and keep her comfortable. That will help, because let me tell you, it has been stressful for the last 3 months have been very stressful. So I know I don't wear stress. I say I do wear stress well. So most people don't realize when I'm stressed. So, because I will laugh my way through it. Ole says, my family and I are praying for you and your mom all the way from East Africa, Tanzania. Thank you, brother. And let's see here. Girls Club is in the building. She says, amen. Lisa says, we'll watch it and advocate for yourself for another MRI in the 3 to 4 months. Yes, they did have that on the schedule, so I will have another MRI, and they also have to, after the surgery, they have to come back around to make sure everything is flowing properly and looking right, is healing properly. So yes, so I will be back into testing mode. I've been in the hospital getting tested. I should say the doctor's office, not the hospital. But I've been there 3 weeks in a row, twice a week, and blood drained every visit. I've been to the doctors more in 3 weeks than I probably have been in 3 decades of my life. My doctor always used to say, you're my healthiest patient." I said, "Well," and so I teased him the other one day. I said, "Well, I guess that's not you're not saying that now." He says, "You don't have to, ain't no worries." But now we got this one thing I get over. Lisa says, "Someone told me there is a good herbal store on Myrtle. You can probably get it from there. I don't think I've ever seen it at Trader Joe's." They have you know what? We do have a couple of herbal places on Myrtle Avenue. I will check. Okay. Hey, DT Tuggle is in the building. What's going on, DT? He's also sending love to the girls club. There you go. So good to see you. Good morning. Gwendolyn's in the building. Miss G is in the building. So I'm going to go. So what we're going to do today, one is we're going to talk. I should have said this in the very beginning, but again, I'm all over the place today. So forgive me if I'm all over the place. Today, we're going to talk about smartphone winter photography. Okay, so we're going to do that near the end of our time together. And so I'll put that off the screen. But I was intrigued by yesterday and this morning. Obviously, when you're in the hospital, you get to see you get to just go through. And they were very gracious because most of the time they don't allow you to have phones in the ER, but they allow me to just kind of like go through my phone. So uh, I was going through the phone and I was like, wow, this Kendrick Lamar story just gets better and better and better. I mean, it was incredible this summer. So I did save some of this stuff as I was going through, and I wanted to share it with you because some people had some really interesting highlights. And I say, why not as a community? We can look at it and talk about it. And since it is what everyone's talking about, and it's not just being talked about here, it's being talked about all over the globe, but it has really taken traction. People are talking about Kendrick's show and the elements and all the thought and the art that went into it. So yeah, so I'm learning a lot. I am learning a whole lot. Okay, what's this? Lisa said, I saw this white lady say the bell bottoms were symbolic too. Yes, the bell bottoms was symbolic. That's the reason why. Man, I sat there and said, this gets deeper and deeper. It's like a good novel. You know, as you're like moving through the pages of a good novel, and then things are just starting to happen, and things keep unveiling, and you're like, wow, yes, I see that clue. This seems like for me, the Kendrick Super Bowl show is becoming a great novel for me to learn so much about a lot of stuff that was put into that video. Lisa says, everything he does has a metaphorical layer. That's what I learned also, is that he's always been this way. He's always been this way. This was not just for the Super Bowl. There was one person that said 10 years of his work has been metaphorical, symbolic. Oh, okay. Girls Club says Kendrick wears flared pants a lot in his concerts. Okay, interesting. Dr. Taji says he is a very deep lyricist, and we're gonna go to that. And we're gonna go to one of the reasons why. Okay, there was a video on it, and now hopefully my saves work this time. Let's see if they're working today. Yes, they are. They are working. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's see. Let me get some of these up here. Well, where should I begin? I will begin. I think it's his teacher. His teacher. Here we go. Where was that one with his teacher? There's something. Man, I've saved so many things. Ron, you were on the internet too long. You were just on the internet too long. Okay, we'll just go through some of these because some of these are out of order. So let me just get there. Let's pick this little guy. Let's go with the analysis. Okay, we're gonna go with the analysis. Okay, here we go. This is really cool. This gentleman breaks it down. His name is Marco J. Williams. And here we go. And now I want to know what you guys think of it, because are you seeing the same thing that he's talking about? And have you been seeing this in his work? That will be the question. Here we go. Here we go. Are y'all ready? Are you ready?
Show was pure art, and it was much deeper than a diss to Drake. Let's first address how he says the revolution's about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. We are in the age of revolution, and it's going to be digital. We are no longer falling for the narratives that the mainstream media pushes. He's telling you he's not going to be the one to fall in line, but he's speaking in the form of the collective. We are no longer being docile and conforming to what the government wants. We are standing up for what we believe in. You have Samuel L. Jackson narrating the show as Uncle Sam saying, "Welcome to America's game," which we all know isn't football, but the game that the government plays with us. Samuel L. Jackson says, "Do you really know how to play the game? It's too loud, too ghetto, tighten up." So Kendrick follows it up with, "Sit down, be humble," because that's what America wants from us. Notice how he's in a divided flag representing a divided nation. Yet you have the Crips dressed in blue, Bloods dressed in red, coming together united regardless of their differences and hatred towards one another. If you studied every successful revolution in history, unity is the main ingredient. After they're united, Uncle Sam comes by and says, "Oh, I see you brought your homeboys," which is the culture cheat code. Deduct a life. My mind instantly thought of Fred Hampton, how he united rival gangs and the government deducted his life. I also noticed how their sweatsuits look like the ones from Squid Games, which is a representation of capitalism. How people at the bottom continue to fight amongst one another for the money at the top, which accomplishes nothing. Now let's address SZA's performance. When SZA's performance, she's on an inverted triangle, which was symbolic of the feminine goddess energy used in the creation of the world, which often gets left out because of our patriarchal society, which panders towards religious ideologies that make women subservient to men. She's also surrounded by people in red and white sweatsuits, which could be a reference to Handmaid's Tale, where women are also suppressed. Afterwards, Uncle Sam comes back out and says, "Yes, this is what America wants. Nice, calm, don't mess this up." Kendrick responds with 40 acres and a mule, how this is bigger than music. For those of you all who have whitewashed history, those are the 40 acres that were promised to enslave Black people. He follows that up by saying, "You can rig the game, but you can't fake influence," which is literally how the music industry and the political system in America is set up. This halftime show met history at the right moment. Kendrick used his influence on the greatest stage in front of the leader of our country to remind you all to stand up for what you believe in. He performed not like us, knowing he would face consequences, but he did it anyway. What's even more iconic is he brings out Serena Williams and she crip walks on stage, which she was scolded for after winning a tennis match. This performance was a message of defiance to the collective consciousness and a reminder that it is us versus them. Last but not least, after he performed Turn the TV Off, I hope you turned your TV off, because it's time we stop willingly watching the distractions that are dividing us and start focusing on the people who are truly dividing us.
What do y'all guys think of this? What do you guys think of this? I mean, there was so he shares so many gems. I am curious what you made of this. I mean, it was such a great breakdown. And I love the one that he talks about the women, the triangle, the women. I love about the mules, 40 acres and a mule. I love the Samuel Jackson references. It was, I mean, the analysis was, yes, let me just put that up there. Dr. Taji says the excellent analysis. Excellent analysis. And Paro says, very well done, right? Charlene says, spot on. Hey, Chris is in the building. He said, it was a masterclass. And then also, Girls Club says, Told them sit down, but the dancers kept standing. Loved it. Also, Kimmy says, hopefully it will speak an interest. It will spark an interest in musical performers being more thoughtful on what they put out. I agree, Kim. I agree. I'm hoping on that thought. I'm hoping. Remember, for all of those that were children of the, I was born in 1964. So in my formative years of 5 years older, so I like say 1969, I'm kind of like aware of what my parents are doing. Aware. I don't know what they're doing, but I'm aware of some of the things they're doing. And I'm also aware of my cousins and because they're older than me, and they're in the streets, they're protesting, they're out there doing things for Black Lives, not Black Lives Matter, but Black Power. I remember my cousin used to have all her Black Power shirts and her big giant afros and all of the, she was like really into it. My father, can I say this online? But my father was part of the Black Panthers. And so I remember those. I was aware, but what was truly a marking point of the 60s is that the music went from hokey dokey in the 50s and the early 60s to everything was a what do you call it? Societal consciousness, right? They began to think about society. They began to think about what was going on, the protests, the Vietnam War, Black lives, men being put out of their homes, because of the new rules that women couldn't live with their husbands if they were going to get financial aid and welfare and public housing and redlining and all these things that were happening. You find it in the music, So I wonder what you guys are thinking from this one right here. And we'll dive more into it, but I wanted to see what you guys are saying here. Let's see here what you guys are saying. I got you spot on. Elise says, Kendrick's performance has so many layers. He did a great analysis. Dr. Tachi says, we could dissect this forever and still only scratch the surface. I see Amparo says, it's bigger than music, which is true. Taylor Swift vote shouldn't sway an election, and musicians shouldn't all be looked towards for leadership. But Kendrick is special. I see here Lee says, that's true, Dr. Tachi. We have only scratched the surface. And I see here Kimmy says, like a revolution in the music, with Black Power symbolism, James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud. Remember that? And I remember looking at photographers, Brathwaite's photos. Forgot Brathwaite's first name. I think it's James Brathwaite. But Brathwaite, he was a great photographer here in New York City. His son lives here. And so they had a great exhibition at the Historical Society here in New York, and it showed all of his photos during this time in the 60s. And Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, and how the influences of photography married with music created a whole movement where also people there was a movement in the 60s during the same time, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, but it was also, they began to throw their wigs in the garbage. Can you believe that? Maybe so, if there's any older folks that know this, if I was a kid when this was happening, because I kept looking at the photos and I was like, oh, I was 1 year old. I was 2 years old. I was 3 years old. And they had these big protests that broke out around the city, around in New York and Harlem and Bed-Stuy and a bunch of places here, where they walked in front of barbershops or shops where women got their hair, because women used to go to barbershops to get their hair done. So they would have these picket signs saying, ditch the wig, ditch the wig, go natural, show your black power in your hair. Your hair is your power, your hair is your symbolism, which I understand now that moved into the afro and all the hair weaves and not weaves, but the hair like cornrows and the hair designs and all that stuff because people began to move from the wigs to pushing natural hair, and that at the same time those lines merged with "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud." So music and visuals have always had a major play in the movements. I love also that he brings out. There's one commentator that says also he uses the black the elements of red and blue because of the gangs in California, but he shows the unity of these gangs coming together for one cause, and then that's when the analysis goes into um, it's always been unity to fight the establishment. You cannot fight the establishment splintered and broken. You have to be in unity. You have to be working together. We cannot do it alone. So, okay. If you're in the building, hit the likes, hit the likes, hit the likes if you're getting something out of this conversation. Well, obviously, it's me having a conversation with you. Uh, yes, you said she said it could be expensive nowadays to Lisa. What did Lisa say? She said, hold up, ditch the wig. It was huge. It was huge back in the 60s. Ditch the wigs. Elise says, I believe that Kendrick's performance re-energized us and snapped people out of their frustration from the elections. I am, Elise, I am in agreement with you. When I was scrolling, man, I have never seen so many people engaged. I mean, if you go through some of these conversations, I won't go. I will leave this to you to go to the page of Marco J. Williams. But if you go through, you can see all of the conversations that were, there. Okay, I need to give you another one, right? I'm going to give you another one. Hold on a second. Now, will it do it automatically? So here we go. Hold on a second. Let me get my little thing here, and I'm gonna. This is just something I wanted to add. Oh, you're not seeing it. Oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry. Oh,
Next is the title of his most
let me
recent
start this
album.
again. Sorry, my
But
bad.
1987 is also the year Kendrick was born. As he crouches motionless on the hood,
Let me reload that. Sorry, my bad.
there are a whole lot of people.
Typical Kendrick Lamar dumb stuff.
The stadium goes dark. 9 boxes are illuminated in the center of the field. Flashes of a triangle, square, X and O of a game controller appear in the corners. Then a spotlight hits the middle square.
It's your uncle, Sam.
Hold up. A black Uncle Sam with Donald Trump in the crowd. Shit. The camera cuts to Kendrick standing on a 1987 black Buick GNX. Of course, GNX is the title of his most recent album, but 1987 is also the year Kendrick was born. As he crouches motionless on the hood of the car, the only movement you see comes from the swinging pendant around his neck. When you look closer, it's a lowercase letter A, which I guess in Kendrick's world can only symbolize
A minor.
When he finally stands up, he has a warning for us all.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
I really don't know what he said. Maybe Jay-Z did pick the wrong guy, because Kendrick wasn't there to perform any Lollipop songs.
Yeah.
Dressed in bell-bottom jeans and a fitted black cap to the back, which if you look closer, has the emblem of a feather pinned to it. For those who don't know, a feather on a cap symbolizes an achievement or honor that somebody can be proud of. Then there's the jacket. What many viewers initially thought was a Florida Gators jacket is in fact a custom piece that reads Glory across the front. Yes, Glory is the last track on this Gen X album, but in Spanish it also means glory. Now just as Kendrick begins to hit his flow, he's interrupted by Uncle Sam.
Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play the game? Then tighten up.
Kendrick and his crew tighten up, nod their heads in obedience, only to reveal a formation that resembles the American flag. Uncle Sam again interrupts, calling him a culture cheat code, before Kendrick says,
I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love the suit.
What song?
he teases not like us, but instead brings out the first of Drake's ex-girlfriends,
You know what?
SZA. After performing all the stars, Uncle Sam shows his approval.
That's what America wants. Nice and calm.
But then Kendrick pops back up.
Oh no!
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
40 acres and a mule was a promise to give freed slaves land for economic independence, which as we all know, has never materialized.
I'm nothing in reality.
The icing on the cake arrives when they cut from Kendrick to reveal the second of Drake's ex-girlfriends, Serena Williams, a native of Compton who, if you remember, did the exact same crip walk in 2012. This moment was met with disapproval by many onlookers at the time, just as Kendrick's performance also has.
Roger Goodell should be fired.
Question: how many more Super Bowl halftime shows do you think they'll let Jay-Z select? Kendrick's Super Bowl performance has upset a whole lot of people.
Typical Kendrick Lamar dumb stuff.
The stadium goes dark. 9 boxes are illuminated in the center of the field. Flashes of a
So you got that one. This, I mean, I am just so excited about this. I don't know what, maybe, I know you, some of you are, but I'm just so, because you know why I'm excited about this is educational. Think about how many young people are going to watch these videos and be educated, right? Oh man, this black again, but they can't stop us. I like that. She says it may be a hot minute before it gets this black again, but they can't stop us. Yeah. Right, I'm back. Oh, okay, great. Let's see here. Me too. Wow. I just get so excited. I'm so excited. It's just, I feel like, because you need something this elevated to educate. Yeah, you got to have this, you need this kind of momentum to educate. And this is one of those things that I think is just, let me just send this over to Chris right now. Hold on. Let me just send this to Chris here. I want to send this to Chris. Chris, I just sent you an invitation, sir. There you go. And but yeah, I mean, it's I mean, the history that all these analytical folks are doing and pairing the history up with the song and education and understanding these different entities that roll into the conversation and symbolism, like the feather on the hat. Did y'all know about the feather in the hat? Did not know that. Oh, wait, I can't see you in the room. Hold on a second, Chris. You said you're already in the room? Which room? Are you in the old room or are you in a new room? I just sent the link so you can be in the new room because you're not showing up on the. Oh, there you are. There you are.
Hey, so you know what? I used the QR code that you have on the screen, and
That's right. Yes, it was from another show. I didn't change the QR code.
I was sitting back there like for the last 20 minutes. I'm like, maybe.
Oh, my bad, sir. My bad.
It's all right.
I'm a little discombobulated. I didn't get a chance to change the QR code, but
it's fine.
The education that I think young people that would not be in tune to this are now going to be in tune to this.
You know, I'm so glad you spent like the last 2 days really talking about this. I didn't miss all of yesterday's show. I saw some of it. I wanted to join that great cast that you had yesterday, but I was in the middle of a long meeting yesterday. But I'm glad you had this conversation, and I'm glad that you actually found some clips of some of the breakdown of it, because here's the thing: a lot of people did not understand it that night. I'll even admit I didn't understand all of it until I sat down and watched some of the breakdown afterwards. What I love is all the references and how it made you think. And then what I also love, you know, say what you want about Jay-Z and his company, he's really highlighted Black excellence in the Super Bowl over the last several years. And then, you know, even when his wife performs.
Yes, because they did the same thing with the red, white, and blue, and they used symbolism. It was a lot of symbolism in Beyonce's show.
And you know, for one thing, it's all right. Yeah, they put on an amazing show, but you have to really sit back and look at what they're trying to tell you.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate the Orange Man left before Kendrick's performance, because you know what? One, it would have stuck in his craw for one, but then this was all directed towards him and the people that follow him, you know. But such a great performance, such great references, and you know, like the last person said, who's to say? Who knows if this is going to be the last one that they're going to allow Jay-Z and his company to do? Even though I believe he has a contract, and I don't know when that contract is up, but I'm here for it.
Look, if the Orange Man and the mega folks and the white Christian nationalists and all the folks that are out there that have all this money, and they say, you know what, we will buy out his contract just so this will not be seen.
Well, you know what though? I don't know. I think the NFL. Well, you know what? I don't want to give anyone the benefit of the doubt, but as of right now, the NFL seems to be standing up to him. They had them remove the slogan that was in the end zones.
Yes.
And I believe it was end slavery, something like to that effect. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you know what? We'll take that out, but we're going to give you something even more. Let me tell you something. That entire NFL experience was Black throughout the entire show. The you know, you and I had our conversation yesterday morning, just from the logo for this Super Bowl was designed by a young African American woman. The first time that's ever been done. You know, all the performances for the most part were done by African Americans. The marching band, the dance squads. The only white people, quote unquote, that I can think of that really performed were Eric Conner Jr., who sang. There was another young white.
There was a group with some guitars too, wasn't it?
There was one white female. Then of course Lady Gaga, who did that touching song in remembrance of the people that they lost back in January with that homegrown terrorist attack. But you know what I loved about also Kendrick's performance was that it went over the heads of the white people as they were watching, because they had no idea what he was saying, and then what was being performed in front of them. So they couldn't.
Let me edit that. The white folks that are not in tune, because
Yes.
Kendrick has a huge, I just discovered this between yesterday and today. Kendrick has a huge white, young white and middle-aged following, which was shocking to me.
It shouldn't be. Hip hop and rap is supported by white people, by young white people. Like that's why rap music and hip hop is so popular, because here's the thing, you know, with us, we support our people, but it quote unquote doesn't go mainstream until white America absorbs it. You know what I mean?
True.
And I don't think I don't think I'm saying anything incorrect when I say that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Charlene says the NFL is not willing to lose viewership or money, and I almost want to say the NFL would probably want to do this more because think about we're talking about it today, and I think people are going to be talking about this all week because there's so many people analyzing and going into the depths of and they're having conversations, and their brains are on kindled and on fire. I mean, these are think about it. I was not a Kendrick Lamar fan, and now today I am. So I'm one of probably maybe 100,000 people out there that watch the Super Bowl, and then you see the fire behind what's going on in the education behind it.
Yeah,
that's what's very stimulating, is the education, the opportunity is a vehicle for people in one Black community to rediscover who we are as a people, but it also white folks that are listening to the music that love him, they're learning something too. There's so much learning going on in the last 2 days. Like I said, when you're hanging out in the ER, you get to go through a lot of streams, and I was going through so many, and it just would not end.
Like I showed you yesterday when we talked, my entire timeline was either I would say it was 50-50 Eagles and 50% Kendrick Lamar. And this morning, right now, if I go to my timeline, it's still the same thing. But you picked up on something. You said something, and I want to kind of dive a little deeper. You know, you're talking about the education of how people are being educated now. There's a video going around right now of a young Black man, and actually it was on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel even played it last night. This Black guy, as Kendrick is performing, is talking to this white guy he's sitting next to and telling him what's going on. He's giving him the subtext of what's going on during this performance. If you get a chance, it's on YouTube. Go to Jimmy Kimmel Live, and that's actually in his monologue. He shows that clip.
Really? Oh,
yes. Actually, go to his page right now on YouTube.
I'm going to it right now on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Jimmy Kimmel, let's go. I'm just like I said, I am so intrigued. As you can see, the things that get me on fire is I love when people are being educated. I love when there's an opportunity to school our communities. I get so excited.
Yeah. Lisa, yes, it was a Black Super Bowl, period. Through and through from start to finish.
Okay, I
love the Nike ad that they played at the end.
It's let me see here. Dope. I'm just looking at it. Is there any clips from? Oh, maybe no. There's no.
Hold on. Let me find it and send it to you.
Yeah, if you find it, let me go.
Because I watched it this morning, so it should be in my recently watched.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to also hold on a second. Let me stop sharing that, and then put this on. There we go. Let me get that. Let's see here.
Oh, wait a minute. Did I see it on or was it on Instagram? Hold on one second.
It may have been on Instagram. You saw it, right? But there was a highlight though. I don't know. Now I'm trying to figure out, where did I see the highlight of his teacher, his junior high school teacher? They interviewed him yesterday, and I can't remember where. I thought I saved it, but again, sometimes these things get saved. Most of the things I saved did save, so I'm very thankful for that. Okay, let me see. Hold on a second. Maybe let me see something. Here is, oh, here's one. What time is it? Let me make sure I don't kill you guys in time. Okay, we got
11:56.
a good time. We're okay. There was this one other time that was really, I need you to, this was in
Oh no, what's it?
honor of this was in honor of Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson. This young lady, what's her name? The Cindy Noor show. She's really good for those that haven't seen her. She brings out a lot of stuff. But here, this, I'm going to share this with you guys because I thought, man, I didn't, when these performances happen, you don't know how it's touching people's lives. And this is one of those that I did not see this coming when I scrolled upon it. Hold on, look at that. And pop that
So
sound.
Ron, I just put out. Oh, sorry.
Jackson only, and I'm going to do my best to get through it without crying, but I cannot make any promises. But I want to explain why his role as Uncle Sam hit me so hard, why it was my favorite part of the entire performance, and why it's making me emotional. Now, while his entire performance as Uncle Sam was stellar, it was jarring, it was challenging, it was so many things, there is one line that he said that has really hit a lot of us deeply, and I know it hit me deeply, and that was the deduct one life line. Now, for those who don't know, Uncle Samuel Jackson has been about that life. He has been a part of the civil rights movement. He was a part of the Black Panther movement. He has done protests, and he has seen, touched, and felt the hard work our ancestors endured for us to have our freedoms that we have today, if you can say we have freedoms. But the reason why the deduct one lifeline hit me so deeply is because that was the tail end of him saying, oh, you got your buddies with you. Cultural cheat code, scorekeeper, deduct one life. You know who I thought about? MLK Jr. Us being a community, they don't like that. That is the cultural cheat code. So what do they do whenever we get together in camaraderie and remind ourselves of who we are? They deduct one life. Did y'all know that Samuel Jackson was an usher at Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral? This is where I get a little emotional because who better to talk about playing the game than an elder Black man whose hands have touched the result of us trying to play and beat the game? Who better to talk about playing the game than a man who has been around and seen it all, done it all, and tried to navigate it all? Who better than to tell you how to play the white man's game than a Black man who has survived it, you know? Samuel Jackson, if you ever get to see this, I hope you understand and know just how revered and appreciated you are in the Black community. And as much as it saddens me that even in you being an elder, you still are saying the same things and fighting for the same thing you have spent your entire life fighting for, I hope you know that your role in this halftime show, I don't think I even fully grasp the impact that it has and will have for years to come. This video is for Samuel Jackson and Samuel Jackson only, and I'm going.
Wow. I'm partially in tears now. I mean, I sat there. First of all, I did not know that he was one of the usher bearers at for Martin Luther King.
I didn't know that either.
It's like, what the heck? You know that? You know, when I learned these gems on Black history, I get so ecstatic. I am the ultimate nerd. I mean, I don't want to say, this may be vulgar, but it may not be. it's like it's orgasmic. Education for me is orgasmic. It makes me so it blows my mind, and it goes through every part of my being.
Yeah.
I love when I learn new facts about our people.
This is definitely a Black History Month for the ages. This is one you'll remember. A lot's going on. Go in our private chat. I put the link in there, and it happens around roughly 2:10 into the video. I think there's a commercial that plays in the beginning, of course, because it's monetized. But I believe it's like 2:10.
Okay, let me get that commercial. Okay, I'm gonna present it. Here we go. I'm ready. Wasn't she amazing though?
Yeah.
Wasn't she amazing? Oh man, I said if Samuel L. Jackson, I did say L, right? If Mr. Jackson sees this, I'm sure he'll be moved.
I'm sure someone will send it to him because, like she said, she made it for him.
Yeah, she made it for him, and to me, I guess it was absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, here we go. This is Jimmy Kimmel, and sharing from his monologue.
We're gonna have like 2 minutes, 10 seconds in.
Super Bowl Monday, I guess. I don't know. It's Super Bowl. Wow, what a game that wasn't yesterday, huh? The game was boring, but I have to say the food at my house was great. I ate so much yesterday. I had for real, I had a turkey. I had part of a cow. I had chicken in both wing and fried form.
Can you forward it?
Lamb and a pig. I ate all
of 2 minutes and 10 seconds in.
Old McDonald has no animals left on it.
Minutes in.
2:10.
Minutes, 10 seconds.
No, go back. Like right around there. Right around there is fine. Perfect.
That kind of thing can be hard for people who don't follow hip-hop very closely. And so it was nice to see a guy who knew what was going on, taking time to explain it to another guy who didn't.
So this song right here, he was made, like, he was a little upset about everything that was going on, so he had to make them for the people, for the culture. So he gonna be like, they not like us. So he's saying like, they ain't like us. You see? Like, people on the other side, be doing what they be doing, but sometimes you gotta pop out and show them, you see?
I'll be honest, I could have used that guy myself. I watched the whole thing. I was like, so did he say anything about Drake? What happened? I wonder what was going on at Drake's house last night. When the halftime show started, was he like, oh no, we're out of queso, I'm going to run to the Whole Foods? And there were a lot of...
That was it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, like that was happening in the stadium.
People were interpreting. Man, I really do believe. I think Elise brought something up that was really, I think, telling of people are so exhausted from the elections, and people felt so down in the dumps about where we are as a country and seeing what Trump has been doing for the last 2 weeks, that people needed something that was so inspirational that and you know what they say, I was raised as a PK. My adopted dad was a preacher, and he used to say all the time to me when I was growing up, good sermons and bad sermons. And the good sermons are good not because the pastor or the preacher is so good. It's because the audience, their hearts are ready to receive it. When the hearts are ready to receive a message, when the heart is open to receive, the message becomes more resounding. It becomes more powerful. It begins to have it magnifies. Versus, you could have a great preacher that speaks a great word, But if the people's hearts are not open to receive, or the hearts are hardened, that great sermon becomes nothing. It doesn't resound, it doesn't resonate, it doesn't take on wings of its own. It doesn't take on life when the congregation hearts are not open to receive. And I think America, in some strange way, this is my interpretation of what I'm seeing and listening, and as I'm scrolling, it seems like America on Super Bowl Sunday did not even realize that they were hungering for this word, because the artistic ability, with all that went into this, if the people weren't ready to receive it, it wouldn't be taking on the momentum that it's taking. But because the people were open and they ate it up, they ate every stitch of the art. They analyzed every single detail. And now you have this momentum that continues to grow. And I don't think this will be the end of this Super Bowl performance. I think it's going to last a couple of more weeks, and then people will think about it in the future. But it's because the country, those that, like you said, some it went right over their head. They didn't know what was going on. But when the hearts are open for change, and the hearts are seeing the pain, and when the hearts are feeling the anguish, they begin to feel the words, and they're ready to be inspired. They're ready to now take the mantle and run with it. They are now accepting what is coming, the truth that's coming at them. So I just felt that to share that with you guys. You could probably tell I am a son of a PK. I do have my moments, but what did Elise say? I see you guys are talking in here. Hold on a second. I didn't know what the black guy was. Oh, Lisa said she didn't know what the black guy was saying. Now that we don't know Jack, but clearly there's much more we don't know. Lisa said, not that we don't know Jack, but to clarify, there is so much more we need to know. He was also concerned. Oh, Lisa says, can someone write a real Black history book, because we don't know Jack as a community? And I would say if they wrote a book, it would have to be volumes. We can never contain all that Black people have contributed to society and put it in one book. It's just so much. That's just my opinion there. Elise says, Kendrick popped out and truly showed everyone. I see here, Girls Club says, yep, that's him. I couldn't remember his name. Okay, I got that one. Elise says, we needed to be refocused on what we have to do and who we are. We have real work to do. Lisa says, now is the time to have clandestine meeting, I'm saying it right, meeting all over the country to make a plan for our future. Move in silence. That's another one that Gwendolyn uses. Elise says, one of the reasons that I love Black art so much is because it's often demonstrating resistance and activism. See here, Lisa says, I really think the digital voting booths were manipulated. I do think Dump actually won. I don't think he won, but I accept it, unlike them. but the Dems should be doing a low-key investigation. I agree, Lisa. I agree with you 100%. Elise says, I have a list of books that tell Black history. And Lisa says, also, we didn't touch upon them taking down CFPD. That's for Thursday. There are no safeguards anymore. They are taking things way away day by day. If you do not understand CFPD, that is your homework for our Trend Watch Thursday episode and conversation. Okay, so that's Thursday. Check your DMs, Ron. My DMs, I do not. Which DMs? Which DMs do you want me to check, Fleefy? Is it in my Instagram? Is it in my? Okay, hold on. Thank you, clandestine. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Thank you for hooked on phonics is a good thing. So, Chris, I'm going to go and teach a little lesson here for that. But give me your final thought on today's, episode.
All I can say to our people is stay woke. Listen, pay attention, and don't just pay attention to the things that they're not saying. That's going to be important. And the CFPD, PB, excuse me. We definitely have to talk about that. That's another big thing. Every day it's something new, and there's so many distractions, and also people. I'm going to keep putting it out there. There was another fatal plane crash, either Sunday or yesterday. I think it was Sunday. I believe one person died, and this was out on the West Coast again. A plane slammed into another plane on the ground. This is 4 major plane crashes or accidents in less than 3 weeks.
Is that the 5th one? I think that's the 5th one.
Well, as far as like fatalities.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I believe this was the 4th one. And also, if you did not watch or listen to Rachel Maddow last night, please go and watch it. She is spewing some history and some truth. I don't want to. We'll dive into it on Thursday, but just know that everyone that Trump is putting into cabinet positions now that he's appointing, that he doesn't even need congressional approval for, they're all people that ran for local, state, or spots, and they lost. But the people voted that they did not want them. Trump is appointing them one by one into his cabinet. So just
Isn't that
know
crazy?
that it's being populated by people that we voted against.
This guy
that's my last word.
He is the worst. I mean,
we can talk about it on Thursday.
Woo! Okay, yeah, we'll save it for Thursday. But there's so much, and if I do find that video, we'll also talk about just all the people that are getting off in the federal level and what that means to our democracy. Man, so much good stuff out there. I mean, what a week. I am so thankful. I am so thankful to all of you. But let's go to the lesson real quick. And okay, what time is it? Okay, I want to make sure we're out here by 12:30. Okay, we got
time. And I'm out. Talk to you later.
Okay, buddy. Thank you, my dear friend. This was a great conversation. Let's tune in for all the photographers out there, because there are photographers in the building and they want some tips. And these are for tips. These are tips for your smartphone winter photography. And what's good about this is that we're going to dive into this. And the reason why is because a lot of us, we are having a real winter in New York City. We are, and around the country. It's not as much snow as we usually have in New York City, but we're all seeing the snowflakes, even people that were down in the dirty South. I love the dirty South. And they had snow this year. So everyone has had snow around the country. It seems that every state has had snow. Every state this winter has had snow. California, Florida, all the Alabama, Mississippi, everyone has snow. Everyone. And I've been reminded that Texas gets snow on the regular. So anyway, here we go. It's time for lessons. Smartphone winter photography. Here we go. Winter offers some breathtaking scenes for photography, and you can capture them beautifully, even with a smartphone. Here are some handy tips for you. Now, I got my new Apple phone, and I am very, very happy. And I am going to be out photographing everything and getting to know my new camera. And I'm excited. Here we go. Next thing. Oops, sorry about that. I skipped. Keep your phone warm. Excuse me. Cold weather can quickly drain your phone's battery. Please keep it in an inside pocket close to your body to stay warm when not in use. I always make sure that my jackets have an inner pocket so I can keep my phone really close in my inner jacket pocket, especially if you can get like I have a North Face jacket. My North Face liner has a pocket so I can put my phone in. Because it is not so much that the phone is slow. The phone won't be slow. The phone will still take photos, great photos. It's because you want to maintain the life of your battery. So if you're out and about, you're taking photos, keep your smartphone warm so that way it continues to extend the battery life. Okay? Next, use gloves with touchscreen capabilities. Cold hands can make it hard to operate your phone. Invest in gloves that allow you to use your touchscreen without having to take them off. And though we've had these gloves around a long time, not this particular gloves that's showing here, but gloves that have they have what's called heat. They're heat sensitive to the heat on your fingers that translate to the tips of your gloves, so that way you can use your gloves on your smartphone. Very good. And if you don't have that, what we used to do in the old days, when I first used to take photos with my smartphone, is that I used to cut the tips off my gloves. If you get an old pair of gloves, you can cut the tips off your index. And then while you are roaming around, you can always keep your hand closed and it'll keep your tips warm. But if you need to get to your phone, you couldn't, but you can get these gloves. They don't cost a lot these days. But most gloves now have like a thermal fiber woven into the gloves, so that way the heat can translate from your hands to your smartphone. Next, adjust exposure settings. Snow can often trick your phone's automatic exposure settings, leading to overexposed images. Manually lower the exposure to bring out the details in the snow. Remember, all of us have phones now that have manual mode, or in some phones it's called pro mode, right? And some phones it's called professional mode, right? When you can control that little exposure button, it's going to give you a better picture, because you don't want because white is so hard for the camera to read. So you have to use the adjustment and go in, change the exposure, bring it down, so that way you can see the details of the snow. Does that make sense? You want to see the details of the snow. Bring down your exposure. Next, focus on details. Winter is full of beautiful details like icicles, frost patterns, and snowflakes. Get up close to capture the intricate designs. There's so much to see in the winter. You guys already know me. I've already been out in the snow twice and 3 times this year. It is so cool to go out and take pictures of the things that people don't see. I'm always hunting for things that people do not see, like the snow and the crystals on a pine branch, or you see snow that has gathered, wet snow gathered on the frame of a bike, and now the bike is covered in a beautiful snow, but you can still see the beautiful details of the bike. I mean, little things like that. So look around, observe, and then take that camera out and photograph it. You will find yourself with many interesting photos this winter. We still got more months. We still got February and March. So we are in what we call the middle of winter. So it's a great time to use these tips. Next, take advantage of the golden hour. Ooh. We've talked about the golden hour in this community many times. That hour before sunset, right? The hour before leading into sunset. The hour leading into sunset is called the golden hour. Here we go. The sun is lower in the sky during winter, creating longer shadows and softer light. This is perfect for capturing stunning landscapes. It's also great for taking great photos of the cityscapes as well. In New York City, capturing the city after a nice snowfall, and the snow ends roughly near sunset as you're going into that golden hour. The pictures of the city covered in snow are so beautiful. So take advantage of the golden hour. Also, everything's covered in white, so you can see the beauty, the beautiful shadows in the snow. So do that. Next, use burst mode for action shots. If you're capturing winter sports or playful moments in the snow, use burst mode to ensure you don't miss the perfect shot. I use this often when I go to Fort Greene Park over here, and I'm taking pictures of the kids and the parents sliding down the hill. We have these two famous hills in Fort Greene Park, and as they're sliding down those hills, or I also do it in Prospect Park as well, you want to put your camera on both burst mode, so that way when you hit the button, it just goes click, 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 and it takes a series of photos, and usually you can find one or two, if not three, photos that are to perfection when you review them. Okay, there you go. Next one, keep an eye on white balance. Snow can cause your images to have a blue tint. Manually adjust the white balance in your camera settings to correct this. Yes, your smartphone does have a white balance. Make sure you can click on that, and it's in professional mode or pro mode. Use HDR mode. A lot of cameras have HDR. That is where the camera takes, I don't know the exact number, but hundreds of photos, or I should say hundreds, maybe tens of photos, and then compresses them all and makes adjustments. The computer in your phone makes adjustments for the highs and the lows and the mids, and merges them together and makes a beautiful picture. Okay? Make sure you turn on HDR mode on your smartphone. Next, try different angles and perspectives. Don't be afraid to get creative with your shots. Shoot from different angles and perspectives to add interest to your photos. You know how we say it in this community? Get low, get high. Okay? Take photos from different angles. Don't be afraid to get low, because everyone takes photos from the eye, right? Everyone takes photos straight ahead. So those photos are not as interesting. You want to make your photos interesting and stand out. So by doing that, you take it from an angle that other people do not do. Here we go. Next, and we're almost there, almost ending. Edit your photos. Use photo editing apps to enhance your images. Adjusting brightness, contrast, and saturation can make a significant difference in your photos, especially for those that photograph in RAW. If you photograph in RAW, then you can get more color, more dynamics in editing your photos. But when you shoot in RAW, the colors look a little muted. So you have to go back in and bring those colors out. Okay, so make sure. What are some? I'll just give you some quick ones. Snapseed is the one I always recommend to you guys because it's free. It does a lot of great editing. It makes editing easy. So use Snapseed. I'll put that in the description at the end. Snapseed, Snapseed. Snapseed. My one that I use everywhere because it's on my phone, it's on my computer, it's on my tablet, is Lightroom. Lightroom. So, and you can also get Photoshop as a mobile app. So, but you have to pay for some of those after a certain level in those editing apps. And there are a whole lot more out there that you can choose from. Okay, and you also have one on your phone. Okay, last but not least, oops, did I get rid of that? Sorry, my bad. There we go. Bonus tip, stay safe and enjoy. Remember to dress warmly and to take breaks if you're out in the cold for a long time. Enjoy the process and have fun capturing winter's beauty. Share these tips with your friends. They'll also be snapping stunning winter photos in no time. If you need more suggestions or want to dive into any of these tips, just let me know. Okay, does that help you guys? Does that help? Okay, I saw you guys putting some. Were you guys chatting about the lesson, or were you talking about other things? Oh, I tell you, some of you students out there, Kanye. Do I see Kanye in here in the chat? What's going on with y'all? Oh, bad students. Girls, she says, does HDR mode improve the quality of printed pictures? It can. Yes, it can. Because on your smartphone, what it does, again, like I mentioned, is taking many photos over different ranges. So it's taking photos in the highs, mid, and low. Taking the computer is doing, this is also AI. For those that don't know, this is AI. And it goes in and it's merging all these photos together and creating a nice dynamic range. So that way your shadows are not as dark. Places that are light are now darker. The exposure is down. So you can see the snow. You can see the prints in the sand, in the snow. Or if you're on a beach, you can do that too. But since we talking about winter, the snow. Yes. So the dynamic ranges are being taken in different areas. That's why it's called dynamic range, and merging them together and creating a great photo. And yes, you can print those photos and they could be beautiful photos for your family or for you. Let's see here. Let me see if you got any questions out there besides Kanye out in the world here. See the plane crashes. Somebody thought they comments, Pace saying, bring the gay guy back. I saw that. It was 73 degrees and post weekend. OMG. And what about, oh yeah, we talk about Eric Adams. Okay, we got that. Any questions on photography? I think we got them all. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I got pictures. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I got pictures printed that I took on my phone, and some of them are grainy. Oh, don't be so upset with the grainies. Sometimes grainy photos can look good. Just because a photo is grainy doesn't mean it's a bad photo. Now, if it's focused, it's sharp, if it looks good, but it's grainy, you can take that photo and in editing, you can make it black and white. You can make it sepia. You can make it, you can change the exposures and manipulate it a little bit and have fun with it. So just because your photo is grainy doesn't mean it's a bad photo. If all the other technicals are right, there are a lot of great grainy photos that are in MoMA and in great art exhibits. So don't be afraid of the grain. Okay, Look at your graininess with new eyes. You have more options. Elise says, one of my photos from years ago was double exposed, and I love it. I love a good double exposure. Okay, I think we got it all. What time is it? It's time to get out of here. I gotta let you guys go, and I gotta get to the city. I gotta run an errands and do some things real quick. The day never ends. Every day has its chores. Okay, guys, have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, hit the like and subscribe and share. Okay. Whoa! It's Dave. It's Brian Young. There's Mr. B. It's Mr. B is in the building. Sending hugs, sending love to Mr. B. So good to see you, Mr. Brian Young. And Dr. Tachi says, great session. Great session. Girls Club says, I'll play around with the editing on some of them, and this was a great, okay, on some of this was a great lesson. Gotcha. Sometimes our typos, I get typos, and I know it's because my spell check likes to change my words. Sometimes spell check works against us. Thank you, B. I would love to hear your voice. I try calling, but I know you've been busy. I know you've been taking your time. So, but I'm here, and I'm not mad at you. Okay, so guys, have a wonderful Tuesday, Tip Tuesday, and don't worry about the typos. I know the attack of the checker always gets me every time. Every time. It's not you. It's not always you. Sometimes it's doggone word checkers. Okay, I'm out of here. Let's get out. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. I gotta make sure Instagram folks. Are there any folks out there? Okay, I see some out there. If you're on Instagram, come on over to Touch Base Daily over in our YouTube channel. You get a better experience. Okay, here we go. We're out of here. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Water Cooler Talk Wednesday. Since this has been such a great talking week, no guests tomorrow. We'll be just talking together. Lisa says, thank you, Ron. Oops, it skipped. Thank you, Ron. Have a great day, everyone. Okay, and we're out. Now we're out. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.